guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. Many things to say, guys, many things to clarify after a busy afternoon on the market. New stories, new names, and so let's jump into it. Guys, we are here ready with many updates, with many stories, and obviously the main story of the day remains Benjamin Šeško to Manchester United, in the process to get the deal done. So work in progress between Manchester United, Leipzig, talking directly club to club over the afternoon, but the agreement is getting closer. So Benjamin Šeško moving closer and closer to Manchester United after the player this morning told the club that he agrees on personal terms. Last night, big story of the night, exclusive news. Last night saying that Benjamin Šeško feeling at Man United was very clear that he was going to join the club. So Šeško to United is on the right way, almost there. But on Manchester United, we have one more big story to mention. If you're following me on all the platforms, and also here on YouTube, of course, I told you that Manchester United, after the striker, wanted to try to find a midfielder on the market. And that remains the case, because Manchester United, in the recent hours, have approached the camp of Carlos Baleba, the top midfielder from Brighton, to tell them that they have a serious interest in the player. Now, this deal is very difficult. All people involved in the story see this deal as very difficult because Baleba is a top player for Brighton. Baleba is a crucial player for them. Brighton don't want to lose the player. Brighton want Baleba to stay and to be a crucial part of Fabian Hutzler's squad for the upcoming season. And also to sign a player from Brighton with almost 20, 23, 24 days to go till the end of the window is not something easy. The price will be very high, so very complicated deal. But my job is to tell you what's going on, what's happening, and not what's going to happen, because I can't predict the future. And so now what's happening is that Manchester United approached the camp of Carlos Baleba and told them about this interest. More on this. Brighton don't want to lose the player, so it's going to be very tough, very difficult. More than difficult, probably. At the same time, from player side, they didn't receive no. So Baleba didn't say, no, I don't come to Man United because you don't have European football, because of this, because of that. No. Carlos Baleba didn't close the doors to Manchester United. They are aware, from those close to Carlos Baleba, that Brighton don't want to lose the player. So it's going to be very difficult. Again, very difficult. But Baleba didn't close the doors to Manchester United, from what I understand tonight. So Man United interest in Carlos Baleba is genuine. The approach is 100% confirmed. Now, with Brighton, we all know how difficult it is to negotiate. Imagine, in a few days, the Premier League will start, and so it's going to be even more difficult. And also, at the moment, is seen by all parties as a complicated deal. But it's showing the ambition of Man United. After Mateus Cunha, after Bryan Mbeumo, and soon Benjamin Šeško, they want an important midfielder, and they are trying for Carlos Baleba. So Manchester United are going for a midfielder. Baleba is their dream target. I can add to this that probably you remember, if you're following the channel, subscribe, remember, that when I told you in November Ruben Amorim is coming to Manchester United, they are having the first meetings with the people at the club. In those first meetings, when Amorim started to set his idea for the players he wanted to sign for the future, it was not about specific names at the time, obviously, but specific skills, yes. The word he was repeating the most in these meetings with Manchester United management was intensity. We need to bring in players with intensity. And Carlos Baleba is seen as the perfect player by Ruben Amorim for his midfield. Then, again, difficult, very difficult, but today we mentioned this. We will see what's going to happen next. But on player side, he didn't close the doors. Then, with Brighton, it's going to be a very long, high wall, and so not easy at all. Then, guys, I want to clarify another things. Many questions on Bradley Barcola story from L'Equipe from today. So, guys, let's go with order. For Liverpool, let's be clear, is not Isak and Baleba. So even if Darwin Núñez goes to Al Hilal and he's going, even if they sold Luis Diaz, it's not both of them. Even if Federico Chiesa leaves or whatever, it's not both of them. Liverpool priority, as of tonight, remains Alexander Isak. So if they get Alexander Isak, they want to sign Alexander Isak. If they can get him, because it depends on Newcastle, as I always told you. So if Newcastle in the next days, weeks, open doors to the Alexander Isak deal because they find a replacement, because they decide to let him go, because the player wants to go to Liverpool, Liverpool will go for Alexander Isak. So the Isak deal is absolutely still alive. In case the Isak deal can't happen because Newcastle decide to close their doors and not proceed with this one, Bradley Barcola is the dream option in terms of wingers, because for Liverpool the striker is Isak. If they can't get Isak, there is the possibility to go for a winger in that case. And Bradley Barcola is seen as a dream target internally at Liverpool. As of today, Liverpool have not made contact with the agents. Liverpool have not contacted Paris Saint-Germain. Liverpool are not negotiating for Barcola. Liverpool have not made a bid for Barcola. So Isak, let's be clear, remains way more advanced and remains the priority target. If Newcastle don't open the doors, Barcola attempt by Liverpool could be made before the end of the window. That's the point on Bradley Barcola. Then there is the Paris Saint-Germain side. Don't forget Paris Saint-Germain. PSG don't want to sell Barcola. So the only way on Barcola's side would be for PSG, for the player to say, okay, I want to go in public. So PSG want the player to say, I wanted to leave in public. If, it's a very far scenario at the moment, but eventually has to be the player to expose himself, because PSG don't want to sell the player. Nasser Al-Khelaifi doesn't want to sell the player. Luis Enrique, the manager, absolutely doesn't want to sell the player. And PSG, that's another point, have prepared an important, huge new contract proposal for Bradley Barcola. When Bayern approached the player in June, PSG said, forget about that, and prepared a very big new contract proposal for Barcola for the end of the window. So from September or end of August or whatever. So PSG are prepared to extend his contract and give him a very important contract extension. Now, obviously, let's see what's going to happen with Liverpool. Again, as of today, the priority remains Isak. Obviously, if Liverpool can't do Isak, Barcola, and so to go for a winger can be a possibility. But in that case, has to be the players to expose himself, and then the negotiation would be needed with PSG, because PSG consider Barcola as one of the best players in the world. It's not going to be easy at all. They don't want to sell him. And so you can imagine how complicated it could be. Just eventually, to give you one more context, if, because again, at the moment, to be clear, Isak remains the priority target for Liverpool. Liverpool want to go for Isak. If they can't get Isak, and if they decide to go for Barcola, very far scenario, but in that case, a name to watch for Paris Saint-Germain could be Rodrigo from Real Madrid. But again, it's a very far scenario at the moment, because Rodrigo is very happy to stay at Real Madrid, wants to compete for his place at Real Madrid, so Rodrigo focus is totally on Real Madrid. But internally, at PSG, if Barcola decides to go, if Liverpool decides to come to the table at some point, Rodrigo could be an option. But again, at the moment, is not something concrete. There is no negotiation Rodrigo PSG, no negotiation PSG Real Madrid, no negotiation Liverpool Barcola, no negotiation Liverpool PSG. So at the moment, focus on Isak. But let's say that if the Isak deal doesn't happen, this story could be one to watch. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. Big news on the market. Baleba, Isak, Rodrigo, Barcola. Let me know your opinion, guys, here in comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.